Hello, everyone, and welcome to this SOMA Breath Energized meditation. My name is Adam Barnt. I am a breathwork, meditation, and Qigong instructor from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've trained around the world in esoteric practices like Tantra, neo-shamanic breathwork, Qigong, microcosmic orbit, and so much more. And I'm here today to bring you this SOMA breathwork meditation. You may have heard of breathwork or tried a few different things. I think this SOMA modality is probably the best. It's simple, powerful, fun, and is set to really great music. So before we get started, there's just a few contraindications, things that if you're experiencing any of these, you should not perform this practice today. The practice is safe, but there are a few things that can get in the way. So any acute severe illness, epilepsy for the online sessions, it's not as big of a deal in person. Patients with pacemakers or heart arrhythmias, pregnancy, overly full stomach, flu or fever. You should not perform this while driving a car or operating machinery, or also if you are currently in water. So those are the contraindications. And if you're driving or in water, like I said, feeling sick, any of those things, please just save it for another time. This will always be here for you. So the focus of this particular class is going to be self-love and not an abstract or self-esteem boosting kind of positive thinking. We're actually going to be dealing directly with our own loving energy and channeling it and using it to produce meditative states. So there's a lot of health benefits to breath work of this kind, including lowering inflammation, reducing blood pressure, and increasing oxygen efficiency. But we're really going to be focusing here on the meditative state that it can induce quite rapidly. So we can use this to just feel better. Generally, you can use it for manifesting the things you want in your life, gaining insight. Really, the sky's the limit, and all that matters is how much you apply yourself in the practice. This energization routine has three parts. The first part is a physical movement component. The second part is a chanting component. And the third part is the breath work, what we all came here for. So I'm going to explain the sections a little bit here in the beginning so you have a general idea of what the practice is going to look like, and then we'll move in and actually get started. This whole thing will probably take around 45 minutes. And don't worry if you don't remember or don't pick up everything I say here right in the beginning. It's really more of an overview, and I'm going to be cueing the practices as we go. So for now, just listen, and we'll get it going very soon. So for the movement section, we're going to be starting off with some Taoist Qigong exercises, namely the tapping of the gates of life, shaking the tree, and bioenergetic shaking. It's going to last about 10 minutes and is probably the most physically challenging portion of the workshop here, but it's still not very demanding. The shaking can be a little intense, but you're free to dial back the intensity or increase it, as you feel, whatever is good for your practice. After the movement portion, we're going to come together for some Aum chanting. This is a three-part mantra. You may be familiar with Om, the holy Om, and this is what we're going to be chanting here. But kind of taking a Soma breath twist on it and really thinking about it in three separate sections. So instead of just the typical Om that we think of, it's actually Aum. And we're going to be visualizing in three separate sections of our body: the bottom, middle, and top, as we go through those different sounds. So section will actually be guided and to music, and you can hear the guide chanting ah. It's three very distinct sections. These can be thought of, as body, mind, spirit, or the Taoist Jing, Shi, and Shen. There's, lots of different ways that this number three comes into the practice. And for now, we'll just be kind of concentrating on the different chakra centers as they pertain to the three sections, obviously, instead of the seven. So don't overcomplicate it. We're just going to be breathing together with that and if all you're doing is resonating in the sound of it, that's fine. There's no need to actually apply any of the visualizations here. So after the Aum chanting, we're going to move into the breath work. And the breath work is actually very simple, but it kind of takes a little bit to explain. So what I mean by that is the breath work has two parts separated by breath holds. So in each of the parts, we're going to be breathing rhythmically together, that is to a beat. So on the first inhale, we'll inhale for 2 counts and then exhale for 4 counts. Inhale for 2 counts, exhale for 4 counts with no pause in between the breaths. This will be along with the music. It'll also be cued. And this really calms the body and mind quite rapidly and allows for transcendent states to overtake you. These breaths should be slow and steady. There's no need to completely fill the lungs here. You have that 2-second in breath, which is actually quite short. There's no reason that you need to fill up your entire lung. So it's not like that kind of thing. It's just and we'll be breathing through our noses. You don't want to be taking gigantic inhales like that really ever throughout the practice. Maybe in a certain part, we'll talk about that later. But so the first section, we have the 2-4 count. And then in the second section, after our breath holds, we increase it to a 4-4 count. So the breath hold, what is the breath hold? This is called Antara Kumbhaka, and it increases the body's ability to utilize oxygen, increase creative energy, and really just kind of just increase the energy that your body can tolerate, experience, and circulate. So what we'll be doing here, and I cue this, is a lot of people might be familiar with, holding your breath as full lungs. See how long you can hold it. And we're going to be doing the opposite here and holding at the exhale. So when our lungs are empty, we will be holding the breath out. And you're going to do this for as long as you can. It's going to be challenging. And this is really where the magic of the practice happens, though. Sometimes our minds can get so caught up in keeping with the count that there's not as much presence going on in the body. And these breath holds are a good opportunity to just allow for the energy to build and circulate on its own with your full presence there. So it's going to be challenging, and there's a little trick you can do. The first time you feel the urge to breathe, you can go a little bit longer. So you're going to try to override that. But then as soon as it gets like, you're like, wow, I really, really have to breathe, we're going to do what we call a little sip breath. So you're completely exhaled. And then when you get that first urge to really breathe in, you're going to just drink in a little bit of air through your nose, just a little extra, and then exhale it again. And then at the bottom there, that should kind of put a little bit of vigor back into you. And then you continue to hold at the bottom. Now, chances are that won't be very much longer, especially in the beginning. It can be very challenging. You may only find yourself holding your breath for a few seconds at a time. This part of the breathing, everyone's going to be at kind of different points. So I'm not going to directly cue when to take your in breath and when to take your out breath. We'll all have about 5 minutes to 10 minutes together working within those breath holds. So when you finally do get the urge to really inhale, like you absolutely have to take a breath. Let the air in, and you really want to try to have a relaxed breath with this. Don't it's hard in the beginning, but it's not, like a, like that kind of thing. If you're inhaling like that, you've probably waited a little bit too long. So you're going to want to have it be an easy breath in. And while you take the breath in, you're going to squeeze your pelvic floor muscles, your PC muscles, and visualize energy from the base of your spine, shooting up into your crown, into the top of the spine, moving the energy up. And while you're doing this, you can squeeze the muscles again. Your PC muscle is the muscle that you use to stop the flow of urine. And it might be kind of hard to isolate for some people in the beginning. So it's okay to just really, really squeeze all of the muscles of your pelvic floor while you're picturing this energy to come up. And then from there, you can hold at the top while squeezing, or just kind of let your breathing return to normal, return to a hold. You can kind of play with whatever's comfortable or whatever's feeling for you good in that instance. And then I will cue again when we resume the rhythmic breathing together again. So that final squeeze, that's called Mula Bandha, and that's That's a really potent technique from yoga, and that's used in a lot of different energy cultivations. It's a really good skill to learn, and you'll get a lot of uses for it even outside of this class. Now, during this practice, you'll also want your spine to be kind of tilted forward just a little bit so that the top of your spine kind of comes up and your chin comes down a little bit. This is called a neck lock, and this really helps just kind of keep the energy in while we're working with it. So how do we actually breathe is the last question. During the breath work, we're going to be breathing through our noses, in through the nose, out through the nose. If this is you're unable to do this, you're congested or issues with your nasal cavity, you can breathe through the mouth as well, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. These are all acceptable. However, we really want to train and start getting used to breathing primarily through your nose. This just helps oxygenate the blood a little bit better. It's just the preferred method of breathing and can help kind of minimize some of the helps you kind of keep your practice grounded in a way where you're not taking these big strained breaths. It's just a little more easygoing when you keep it in and out through the mouth. So the actual breath, though, we want to make sure we get this part absolutely right. So we're going to do a little demo here together, and you want the breath to start from your belly. Now, a lot of us, especially desk workers, a lot of modern people, we're breathing primarily in our upper lungs, starting in the chest and probably not getting down into the bottom of the lungs at all. So a good way to test your breath is just to have a hand on your chest and a hand on your stomach, and then just breathe normally and see which hand is coming up first. Now mine's rising on the stomach. I'm pretty well trained on this though. So what I'll cue for you here is we're all going to take a breath together. Let all the air out of your lungs. And then consciously start the breath in at the bottom of your lungs in your belly. And in the beginning, you might have to just actually push your belly out to kind of get the feel for it, even if your lungs aren't exactly filling from there. So we're going to breathe in. And then as your belly expands, bring the air up and expand the rest of the lungs. So it works in kind of like a triple go. You have kind of like your belly, your heart, and then your chest will all inflate in that order. So it looks like now that takes a little bit longer than the 2 seconds we have for the inhale. So just keep that in mind and work to build the rhythm. So we have like a and on these shorter breaths, the top of my lungs aren't really inflating at all because there's not enough time for me to fill them. So we're just belly breathing there. So that's pretty much it. It's kind of it's simple. It's set to music. It's all cued. It's going to be really great. So let's get started together. We're going to start with our body movement section here, then move into the chanting and into the guided breath work. You'll have to excuse the audio during this portion. I'm going to actually be doing this with you. I'm going to step back and demonstrate some of the exercises, and we'll all do them together, but I will not be right in front of my microphone. So the quality will diminish here. So, okay, I'm just going to start this timer so we can keep an eye on everything. And then just gonna move some of my stuff out of the way here. So we're gonna start with just the standing meditation together. So come to silence and rest your hands on your stomach and close your eyes. Now, while we're standing, we'll take a few of those belly breaths together. This first exercise is called Tapping the Gates of Life. It is a Taoist Qigong warm-up, and it is really good for kind of getting the body going, getting warmed up. So we're gonna stand with your hands at your side. You can kind of shake out a little bit. And now we're gonna begin swiveling side to side, starting with our hips. Our hips are gonna be the guiding force. And then we're gonna let our arms hang limp at the side and kind of just start kind of smacking the your front and back simultaneously as you come to the end of your rotation. Now you can start getting a little faster with this. You can come up high, you can go down low. You just want to make sure that you're hitting your chest, your stomach, the top of the back, lower your back, even up to your shoulders. This is going to wake up the chi. This is really going to get the energy going. And it honestly just feels really good to let your arms hang loose and just kind of wobble around. This was one, I remember doing this as a kid and having a lot of fun with it, not realizing what a powerful exercise it was. It just feels fun and kind of playful. So we're just going to do this for another minute. You can choose your level of intensity. And we're just going to make sure that we're, again, hitting the 2 points in the front right here. There's an energetic center called your dantian, and in the back, a similar center called the mingmen. And these are 2 very important points in Taoist energy work as reservoirs for your chi. This is where they say it's stored. And so activating it here in this way, it can really just help kind of wake everything up. Okay, now begin to come to silence and stillness. Let your arms just kind of naturally fall back to your sides. And here we'll just take another minute in our standing meditation and enjoy a few breaths together. Next, we're going to do 5 full minutes of bioenergetic shaking. And this might be the most intense part of it for you, but it's a really good practice. And we're going to start slow. And you can really, there's not much upper limit here. Any amount that you can shake and tolerate without potentially hurting yourself is welcome. We're not going to get too intense with it here, but you're welcome. You know, sometimes when I do this in my personal practice, I'm really almost convulsing, really just going at it. So to get started, find your stillness and a comfortable way to stand, and now come slightly onto the balls of your feet and begin to just kind of bounce from your ankles. Now start slow, really let your body kind of hang down, let your muscles hang off of your skeleton, and just start with the shaking. So right now, all of my effort is coming from the balls of my feet, and I'm just letting the body do what it may, letting the arms hang limp, letting the muscles relax, and just let the shaking begin. Now I'm going to begin shaking a little bit harder and a little bit faster, and then moving the energy through different parts of your body. It'll be kind of hard to talk while doing this, excuse me. So I will just give some mild prompts as we go through. So continue shaking, maybe bring your arms, start to get your arms a little bit more involved with it, really shake out the hands, completely loosen the legs. You can even jump up and down a little bit, really just start shaking things out. You can shake your legs back and forth. You can begin to shake the hands and arms more aggressively. You can shake the shoulders. You can even dig down a little bit, which is great because this, when you go down, it allows you to hang your neck and loosen your shoulders and just let your arms shake free. Good, keep shaking. And this is where I mean, you can really, if you really want to shake, you can really go at it. But it's not necessary. All that's really necessary is a calm shaking. You're just trying to get the energy moving, waking up our bodies and minds. You can kick your legs out, really let go. Really let go into the shaking. Be sure to be taking deep breaths, deep relaxed breaths, relaxing your face. Don't scrunch up. This isn't an intense kind of squeezing shaking. It's a loose, playful shaking. Good, keep shaking. Keep shaking, good, you're doing it perfect. Perfect. You can shake your face out, really let your lips hang loose and kind of that kind of thing. We're going to be relaxing everything. So really get it out. Leave no stone unturned here. All right, 30 more seconds, and then we're going to start coming back to stillness. Okay, now begin to slow your shaking, coming back to stillness. Don't stop all at once, just kind of slowly ease the shaking. Eventually find stillness. We're going to take a few moments here together again, standing and breathing, enjoying the energy that we've shaken up. Okay. Oh, I love the shaking. It never fails to feel amazing. Next, we are going to be doing the chanting together. Now, once again, this is good to be done sitting up. Can be done sitting up or laying down. I prefer to sit for the chanting and lay for the breath work, but you can be laying or seating the entire time for each one of them. So again, for the chanting here, we're going to sit up completely straight. If you can sit up straight cross-legged, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, just with your feet planted firmly on the ground in a normal sitting posture on a chair is also acceptable and probably preferred for most people. So once again, the chant has 3 parts, ah, oo, and And in the chant, we're going to be doing each one for 4 seconds. So ah, oo, maybe a little slower than that, but it's going to be cued in music and you'll be able to hear it and follow along quite easily. A few other posture notes. You're going to want to sit with your spine as straight as you can. And again, you can kind of picture a string coming from the crown of your head being pulled just ever so slightly, tilting our chin back just a little bit. This helps our spine stay straight and helps our shoulders kind of sit back. So sit up as straight as you can, sit back. Your eyes can be open or closed for this. I usually keep my eyes closed while I'm chanting. And again, if you are keen to visualizations, we're going to be doing it in 3 parts here. There'll be no cues for it, but while you're focusing on the ah, you can focus on your grounded energy. You can focus on the lower chakras and what it means to be connected to the earth, what it means to be secure and have that foundation. With your middle on the ooh, you can really bring that energy into your heart and think about, not think about, but visualize radiating heart energy. You can visualize love, any number of things. And then on the top part, we're going to be dealing more with our spirit energy, our crown chakras, anything that nourishes us from the heavens above. These are what we can kind of call in during that. Or if you just want to resonate with the sounds, that's fine too. Just a moment here. I'm going to bring this up for us. Okay, I wish I had a visualizer or something for you guys, but we're just going to again, there's no need to actually look at the screen. So we're just going to get going together on this. So the actual chanting starts about 30 seconds in. So in the beginning here, let's just enjoy the music and wait for them to start. And we'll be all together chanting about 30 seconds in. Now, please mute your microphones for this portion. It can be fun to all have them on, but it also gets a little bit loud. So I'm actually going to mute mine as well. And I will, hang on, sorry, this isn't, here we go. Okay, we'll see you back in 5 minutes. Wow, that's always incredible. Next, we're going to start in with the guided breathwork session here. Now, this is about 25 minutes long. We're going to start with about 5 minutes of guided meditation in the beginning, and then about a few minutes into the track, the breathing will start. And it can be kind of hard to hear. I'm not going to cue each one. I won't be saying breathe, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. The track actually has a narrator doing that. When you can hear it, it's good to keep track with it. If you lose track a little bit, that's okay. It's bound to happen. But whenever you realize that you're not breathing rhythmically, or that you're out of step with the recording, you can just tune back in and find the beat again. The rhythm is incredibly important, and you're only doing it for about 8 minutes at a time until we move into the breath holds. Let me share my screen again here. Now take a minute to check in with your breathing. This is best done with headphones on. If you haven't been listening with headphones, I would encourage you to put them in. I prefer to be laying down for the breath work. I'll be sitting up here today. You can choose to sit up as well. If you are sitting up, just make sure that you stay seated up straighted as if you were meditating. Don't allow yourself to slouch or have a passive posture. And checking with our breath again. Remember that we are starting from the belly, deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. Now, as our carbon dioxide in our body continues to increase, some people may experience cramping, particularly in your hands and lips. Know that this is nothing to be worried about. It can be painful. It's rare. I actually experience it pretty regularly, and I still choose to do this all the time. It's less common with SOMA breath because it's a more relaxed breath work than some of the more intense, heavy breathing breath works. So you should be fine, but I just want to mention that if you feel any cramps coming on, the best thing to do, and it's something you can do anyways, if anytime you need to relax, is focus on the four corners of your face. That is, relax the corners of your eyes, and then relax the corners of your mouth. So just check in physically on, or not physically, excuse me, energetically on these centers of your face. And as you relax here and here, so will the rest of your face relax and allow the cramps to kind of dissipate. So speaking of relaxing, the first thing we're going to do is relax ourselves together. The best way to kind of relax your neck and face before a practice like this is just yawning. And if you don't have to yawn, you can fake it. And I find that if you fake a yawn or two, you actually start yawning for real. So let's just take three to 5 yawns together. So. And really let yourself be audible with your yawns. And mute your microphones, and you may choose to have your cameras off for this portion. Okay, 2 more. And now I'll start the music. And as you come to a comfortable seat or laying position, your body relax. Feel the weight of the ground supporting you. And begin to to allow a smile to form on your lips or just behind them. Not a big grin, just a delicate smile. Check in with how this energy feels. How does it feel to smile? Now hold on to that feeling, that smiling feeling, and bring that energy up behind your lips, into the top of your head, into your crown, behind your eyes. Feel the smiling energy building. Now as your smile begins to take up your entire head, your entire face, hold on to the energy and begin to bring it down. Feel like to smile from your neck. How do your collarbones feel to smile? Now bring it down even further into your heart space. Heart is one of the centers of the body that allow for multiplication of energies. Allow the smile to build. Thinking of everything that you love, everything for which you're grateful. And if there's nothing you can think of, what would it feel like to have something you love? How would you feel if you were grateful? Allow the smile to build, radiating from your heart, smiling energy, yourself first, your loved ones second, your enemies third, and indeed the rest of the world fourth. Smile from within, smile from without. Now keeping your eyes closed, and turn your gaze up ever so slightly. Focus on the area between your eyebrows, third eye space. We will soon begin to breathe together. You will not hear me until we begin the breath holds. Listen to the music. Breathe in the beats. If you lose focus, remember to come back. Here we go. Breathing starts now.
In, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. 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 In, In, 2, out, 2, 3, 4. 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 In, 2,
Now here we begin the breath holds. On your next exhale, completely empty your lungs. Push out every bit of air as you can. And hold. Relax your face. Relax the pelvic floor. Feel the weight of the ground beneath you. When you get that first urge to breathe, take in a little sip of air. And let it out again. Really hold. Push past your first urge to breathe. When you finally can't hold it any longer, inhale and squeeze the muscles of your pelvic floor. Exhale, hold again. Visualizing the light building at your base. Inhale, shooting up your spine into your third eye center. Really remember that smiling energy. Smiling from your third eye, smiling from your heart, smiling from your root. Two more minutes to play with these breath holds as you like. Take a break by breathing normally. I encourage you to push yourself in the outwards. Feel magic happen. Wherever you're at, just know that it's where you're supposed to be. You're doing great. Keep going. And we'll start our breathing together soon. This time, 4 beats in, 4 beats out.
3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 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 3, 4
Breath holds. We're going to be starting again in about 1 minute. Prepare yourself to really how long Hold your breath in. Allow whatever you're feeling. Pleasurable sensations, tingling sensations, cramping, whatever you feel it. Don't judge it, allow it to be. When you feel that first urge to breathe, ignore it. And when you must take in your small sip, fully exhale again. Feel the breathless state. When you're finally ready to inhale, remember to squeeze your pelvic floor muscles as you inhale and visualize the energy shooting from your base to your crown. White light healing energy envelops you. Feel the energy you've built. Feel the gratitude. Feel the smile. Hold. Now I want us to take all one deep breath in together. But while we take this breath in together, we're gonna not only squeeze our pelvic floor muscles, but squeeze every muscle in your body and clench your fists together. Breathe in, clench every muscle in your body and hold at the top. Hold as long as you can. Hold, push it, squeeze every muscle in your body. Hold a little longer. Now let go with a sigh and relax every muscle in your body. Now do nothing. Let the ground support you, and then enjoy your Shavasana. Begin to introduce movement back into your body. And wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Stretch your arms out. Yawn, sigh, laugh, cry. Whatever you're feeling. Now, when you find your comfortable seat, I'd like us all to unmute our microphones and we'll share 1 Om together. So find a comfortable seat again. We'll inhale, chant Om 1 time, and then sit in the silence together. Thank you all for joining me. My name is Adam Barnt. I can be reached via email if you have any questions after the practice. If you want to know more about SOMA breath, about the music, about the methodology, or about my coaching services, please feel free to reach out. Thank you for practicing today, and we'll see you next time.